What I want to accomplish is that I get the contact point in a way that my right wrist, I'm a right-hander, is in front of my right shoulder. My right wrist, I'm a right-hander, is in front of my right shoulder. It's not too far over here, it's not out here. All right, so I'm making contact when my right wrist is in front of my right shoulder, is over my right hip. I'm making contact when my right wrist is in front of my right shoulder, is over my right hip. So again, if I'm too far out here.
So let's check out some backhands from Federer and Wawrinka, and here we have Federer making contact, and if we will have a closer look, we will see that his fist is actually not in front of his shoulder and is not over his hip the way Mike wants it to be. But here we can see that the fist is in front of the shoulder and over that right hip, but we can also see that the ball has already left along the racket, so not ideal. So let's check out another backhand from Roger and watch where his wrist is. You can see his arm is in an almost 45-degree angle. That is the angle that they will always try to look for, the 45-degree angle, not the 90-degree angle with the arm straight forward like Mike is showing you. This will not give you power, and as you can see here, the wrist is far away from the shoulder and the front hip like Mike is asking. And again, this is where he should make contact, but again, we can see that the ball has already left along the racket, so not the ideal contact point as he asks. Now let's check out a backside view and a frontside view from Stan Wawrinka. And as you can see here, if you know something about tennis, you can see that the arm is more beside him and not in front of him, because he's looking for that 45-degree angle like they always will do, which is the most powerful angle. And here his arm is in front where it's supposed to be according to Michael, but that will never happen in pro tennis. But let's have a view from the side, and here we can see that he's making contact, and his arm is on his side. Again, watch here, looking for that 45-degree angle and not that 90-degree angle in front. This is where he already made contact, so this is the position Mike wants you to make contact, but you will never find that in pro tennis. Sorry guys. So now let's check out two front views of Wawrinka, but the main point of the video is, if you want to have a great contact point according to MB, Mike Babel, is that your fist has to be in front of your shoulder and over your right hip, but you will never see that in pro players, not with Gasquet, not with Thiem, not with Tsitsipas, not with Dimitrov. They will always try to look to find that 45-degree angle. They will make more contact between a 30 and a 60-degree angle, just the way they do in the forehand, but the 45-degree angle is the great contact point you have to look for, and not with the straight arm forward, which is more a 90-degree angle, the way that Mike Babel is showing you, with the fist in front and over that right hip. You will never see that in pro players tennis.
So one thing that I always try to teach my clients is, imagine you're shoving something really heavy away. How would you do that? I would get behind it. I'm not pushing anything here or here, so I'm getting behind it. Okay, now I can grip my racket. That way I get my body weight behind the ball here, and I would push this way.
So if you want to push something heavy, then you put all your weight behind it. I agree with that, but it's a bad example for tennis. And I gave you 3 good reasons why it's a very bad example. The first one is, you don't push your backhand, you swing at your backhand. The second reason is that you don't start from a stationary position. You don't swing at the car and then you start to push. You start from a stationary position. And in tennis, yeah, you have a backswing and you swing forward to make contact. So you are moving towards contact, not like pushing a car. And the third part is that if you push the car with all your weight, you have that completely frontal position to have the most power. And in the backhand, you have a sideways position, so not the same as in pushing a car. So actually a very bad comparison for tennis.
When I'm making contact here, you can't see my right arm because it's an extension of my shoulder and again over my right hip.
So, my conclusion of having the wrist in front of the shoulder and over that right hip is bullshit. If you want to hit great backhands, have a great contact, look for that 45-degree angle and you will hit wonderful backhands.